now, ladies and gentlemen, 12 rounds of boxing scheduled for the WBA Light Heavyweight Championship of the World. Introducing first, the challenger. He fights in the red corner. His professional record, 16 victories, 1 defeat, 1 draw. Craig Spider Richards. And his opponent across the ring fighting out of the blue corner. He is the defending world champion. His professional record, a perfect one. 17 fights, 17 victories. Here is the reigning, defending, undefeated WBA Light Heavyweight Champion of the World, Dmitry Bivol.
World champions in the last 18 months or so. Will it be third time lucky for the reigning British champion, Craig Richards? He faces, for the first time, a world title and a world champion in Dmitry Bivol. Your commentary team for this one.
Craig Richards, a 10-1 underdog in this one. Put in a bit of a performance tonight, and he needs to as well. Castillo, I talked about this guy earlier, Paul, and
step forward and become a positive for him.
Yeah, what Richards needs to be careful of, Nick, is just coming to his own. Pressures on the front foot, defence coming forward. A little bit Canelo-esque, a little bit Usyk-esque.
So we've got to judge the distance as well. If you look at Bivol, he uses that lead foot as a marker of his own. His body shot downstairs there.
After the body from Richards there. When you're on the receiving end of that, it tires you so quick. You can't understand what's being said in the Bivol corner, but he looks very, very comfortable with
bring that jab hand back fast. That's when you get caught over the top. Just see it there, he pushes it outwards. Good speed.
Down, back, jab down, and just push it out and get it straight back. There's the left hook again, as we can expect it, and then bang the right hand and come over the top.
Strange
from Richards. It'll just stop Bivol in his tracks a little bit from just coming forward, trying what he wants.
Easily here in this second round, Bivol. Oh, he held it back.
I might like it here.
And again, picking up those jabs.
That feels that power. It gives them the extra time that they need to go to work. And this is what we're sick fresh.
As you say, he's been made to think here, and I think he's already ready.
We've got to get that jab out. Try and time Bivol when Bivol makes them
That base and long levers, Craig Richards. He is well set for that full counter right hand.
So clever, Bivol.
Clever again there. Really good response from the champion as this one catches fire here in round 3. Offensive boxer like Dmitry Bivol had a little moment in there. Spider Richards, and then Bivol
size against someone of the size of Richards will just neglect the jab, standing there trying to out-jab Richards with the height difference. As we see Bivol after the flooding, get the fight back into his favour.
You know, Richards may finish out on the ropes there and actually completely walking through him at this stage, still just taking his time. Just see the weight inches forward, that weight kind of up, and that's the danger. Every shot that he hits you with is hurtful.
On punches, and for the technical boxer with bad hands nowadays, you're going to punch his glove.
He's not got to win if he wants to win this fight.
He has the assets to win and make the jab more dominant. I'd like to see Richards try and target the body of Bivol.
We get now to the last 30 seconds of this fourth round.
Richards has to keep his composure, don't lose your shape, don't come up too hard. You've got to keep your composure now.
I think as well to the untrained eye, this looks like a bit
defending his WBA light heavyweight title. First time this belt has been in 1964. Lee Pastrana beating.
Key in this fight, both fighters in my opinion. Richards, I'd like to see him be called up.
Keep the distance. Make Bivol just start reaching in and see if you can.
Nick, I mean, we saw the side on view just a few moments ago. We can see it here because Bivol is better from Richards.
Good shot from Richards, but he's going to come comfortable for Bivol at the moment. You have to land, you have to go for it, you have to leave it in the ring. He landed it very well, you know, the rest can come off that then build.
Oh, and he has enough time left in the round. That's going to be where his opportunity will come. He's injured lucky. He hasn't really had many so far in this fight. If he does get one, and it's big in.
Completely one-sided round, or eye-catching stuff. He's just doing enough every round, and that's what sometimes a talented fighter, a really quality fighter, at a very, very top level, has been both amateur and professional.
They're wide. All the judges are seeing them very wide indeed, and it's time we go into the 6th round. It's a formula that works for
one matter of time before he has to start throwing that shot, because Richards is doing this. Lands it, miss it slightly, and then Richards starts moving too.
His jab's still working pretty nicely too. As you say, Bivol's winning the majority of each round.
I think with boxing sometimes what the average fan on the couch may not realise. Ready to there, don't give him a taste of it.
He had the last word there, Richards, but Bivol is...
You've got it in your artillery. Let it go and do it.
So we're at the midway point of this one. The British champion.
And Paul, I know one thing that Gallagher teaches your fighters is catch and counter with the same hand, but this one...
And them type of shots and that type of advice from the corner is good advice.
I was talking to Peter Sims in the week, he said, we've got to try
just more of the same, keep chipping away, more of the same. He waits to see what you've got, and when he knows it's safe to do so, you can't just wait and let Bivol dictate, which he has done for the previous 7 rounds.
Bivol is certainly more competitive than some of them have been, and we have to remember that until Bivol is the best in the world by a stretch here. And Richards is boxing well, he's just running 3 or 4, and he's being the aggressor, and he's dictating a pace as he is now.
See if that changes things up a little bit, but you know, I'm with you guys, it sounds like we've...
I just think he'll criticise himself when he watches it back. I think he'll feel like he can now.
Plenty to come with all that, of course.
I'll keep this position, and then we'll see what Dmitry Bivol has got.
And Craig Richards has been up.
You're in there with him. It's so easy to say that Richards needs to pull the trigger.
You've noticed his back hasn't touched the ropes once, he hasn't been near them. He's keeping the centre, and this is better for Richards. It's a good little stop.
There's a lot missing from both of them in this round. Here, Craig Richards is the man that needs to do something a little bit different.
Round 10.
Round 10 then.
And technically he was far better than Bullioni in the early stages. Been overawed at any stage, not majorly hurt at any stage. Nice right hand there.
Yeah, that long right-hand counter comes in, but Bivol again responds as he does
At the moment, coming back, but he has to keep it on now, Bivol.
which is decent for Richards.
Bottom is such a big target for
Here, but assuming it goes out like this, I totally agree with you, Chris. He's not going to be disgraced at all.
He's probably got Jack Pettis in. He's in a five-fight hit.
And the experience comes in. You've just seen Bivol trying to put his foot on the gas for the last 30 seconds.
He was. I can't help but think, you know what, I wish he'd been doing this 4 or 5 rounds of all, as you say. Always comes back to something he never allowed to
Very
go.
best at the moment. But I always wonder about his work rate, his fitness, his design.
He's never had an opponent to take him out of that comfort zone, has he?
Peter Sims shouting in the corner, body head. It's good advice, so I'd like to see it.
Sims, got the left hook in there as well.
Sounds to do this to Bivol, to sort of put Bivol back into his shell and on the back foot.
Classy world champion.
Not showing too much respect to Bivol, which he was guilty to early on. He's holding his own.
Hooks it again. He neglected the body through the...
So, Jim, it's not a put down, it's actually a positive way. He's in here with a world champion, one who made as much work as he's doing in these last 4 rounds. These last 4 rounds, what Chris was saying before, you know, and he hasn't done enough for the last 3 rounds.
Well, 1 round left then, neither. But surely he needs to at the very least put Bivol on the floor and have this last round at a very, very slow pace. It's Richards that's got
Real work ethic, will work great from him.
but he doesn't need... There he is, holding his seconds, getting himself closer to the final bell. That's nice for Bivol. Has really put on a very, very impressive...
He mix it at a level above what he's been competing at a future in the past.
Well, Richards put it all together in these last few seconds, and Bivol smart. And out of it. Well, Richards... 100% with you, Paul. Craig Richards and Peter Sims will take an awful lot out of this performance.
They've just done a little bit more in those rounds, and maybe I'd have had the success I had late on a little bit. They've just done a little bit more in the middle round instead of taking the last 4, which I gave Richards a questionable fight about the decision, because you take 6 rounds, obviously it doesn't take a brain to see. You're going to be able to shout. You know, it's tough at the moment for fighters. I don't think me when I was fighters and all the fighters on the bill, and credit to them for performing in such circumstances.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of boxing here in Manchester, England, Yuri Kopsev, 115-113. Steve Gray, 115-114. All 3 are your winner by unanimous decision.
Bivol's got it.
WBA light heavyweight
One had it
champion
wide.
of the world,
The other reflecting how you read the fight, Paul Smith, but
Bivol.
Bivol had put enough in the bank. Richards pushed him so close, and he and Peter Sims will go out of this one thinking, if only.
I just think, I know Richards will watch this back because I've been in a similar position. He's just done enough to scrape by him just to get the win, but he's got the win and he's still unbeaten.
Dmitry Bivol, the then in Castillo fight was October 2009. As we mentioned, the atmosphere that can be a little flat can affect even the very best in the world. But Yota Murata and Gennady Golovkin, he hopes by the end of the year, Craig Richards, can Marcus Morrison put in the performance of a life. Well, that Joe Smith Jr. victory 18 months, 2 years ago now, he's aging very, but it was a good start for the Russian. Dmitry Bivol controlled the majority of the exchanges over the 12 rounds, and Bivol was the man who was really sitting down on the shot. Pointed the contest of any note anyway. A nice right hand, his danger punch. The left hook was the early threat from Dmitry Bivol. Best thing may have really had, just been any closer, Bivol would have done what needed to treat. So he will rumble on, and of course, if after Beterbiev is a fight that can be made, top rank and Matchroom have got doing so. We hope for Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury in months to come. This weekend, the world, as they say, is his oyster, and he claims he's the top light heavyweight fighter in the world once again.